All right, so we did the physics system. We want to have that box2D debug renderer run and draw the box2D stuff while we're debugging, but we don't want that in our entire game. So instead of having to go out and comment stuff, I'd like to create it as a system to ultimately have it do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a new system. I would just call it physics debug system. Okay, we notice we use the superclass of the iterating system. Let's implement. We can have to create a constructor. Okay, so our physics system is going to have a couple pieces. We know it needs to have private box 2D debug renderer. Debug renderer, and we have to have a world reference. Let's see, we have to have a camera, orthographic camera. Called camera. Okay. So when we are creating the debug system, we are going to need a world. We're going to need the camera. Grab a camera. Okay. Let's do family.all. Everything that has a body component. Class. Get. The box2D debug renderer is going to equal a new box2D debug renderer. This world is equal to world, and this camera is equal to the camera that we pass in. Okay, so when we want to, we have this method because we're iterating through every entity, but really all we want the system to do is just update. We might have to play around with this one. Okay, let's implement that update method. We might not have to have this as an iterating system. All right, debug renderer. Box2D debug renderer render. We really just want it to take in the world and the camera. Oh, camera.combine. Okay, that looks right. Okay. So that system's not really doing much, but we may be able to change the system, because if we don't need it to iterate through every entity, we just want it to run. We may not have to have a family in there to pass information. Yep. Okay. But that update will get called. So now we need to add that to our init Ashley system. So let's go ahead and add private physics debug system, physics debug system. Create it here. Physics debug system equals new. We got to pass in a world and the camera. Okay. And then we can add that to our system. So ultimately, this one's going to be running outside. There's only certain ones that we want to run inside of a batch. Engine dot add system physics debug system. Okay, so there's our systems. This is not getting called yet. So after we have our world and our engine, our game input, then we can init Ashley systems. We don't have any entities to fill it yet. So if we ran it, more than likely this is going to fail or not do anything. Anytime now. I made a lot of changes, so it's rebuilding. All right. Didn't crash. Main game screen.dispose. What errored on that? So when I closed it, it freaked out. b2dr.dispose. Because now it no longer was belonging to the Ashley. b2dr. Because I'm not creating it in here now. So this line, the box2d debug render, is no longer getting created in there. It's getting created inside the system. There are things that you have to dispose of to free up memory. This is no longer getting called here. It's getting called in the engine update. This no longer is happening. Let's run it again, make sure that that's not doing it. Main menu screen render. Main game. Okay, so it errored with no issues. We we will eventually want to run that and check for memory to see how it's doing. But our systems are running, they're doing stuff. We just don't have everything linked up yet. So the next video I'm going to do set up our movement and set up a player movement system. All right, till next time.